I'm X2Cat and welcome back to the second channel video. Today I'm here in Frankfurt, Germany, which, by the way, the one thing you need to know first of all is that the Frankfurter is named after it. But yeah, I'm here in Frankfurt, Germany, and I wanted to tell you 10 fun things you might not have known about Germany, because this video is fun, and honestly Germany's got loads of weird facts about the country that you might not necessarily know, and I'm going to be going through it with today's video, so hopefully we'll enjoy it. Let's get straight into it with the first fact about Germany, which is actually to do with the reunification of it. It's one of the Germany, as a state that exists today, is one of the world's youngest countries. It's only 26 and a half years old, because if you're not familiar, if you're younger than 26 and a half years old, East and West Germany only fused in 1990. So yeah, one of the world's youngest countries, and even, the idea for Germany as a country is fairly young, compared to other European countries. The state of Germany was only 1870, pretty young country, and one of the world's youngest. So there's a fun fact you might not have known. The second one is actually to do with that reunification, because it happened in 1990. But because of the massive differences between West Germany, the more prosperous and German side, I guess, when you consider the success of Germany, versus the East, which was communist and therefore not quite as well off. And the crazy fact about it, a lot of people don't know, is there is a giant reunification cost that's going on year by year, and still will for the next 5 or 7 years or something like that. And yeah, the cost per year is something like 100 billion euros going from West to East Germany. And yeah, so if you ever think of oh yeah, North and South Korea will get back together, it'll be totally fine, that's a situation something like 5 times worse. And even here in Germany, it's still a little point of tension every now and then. So I think fun fact you might have known, reunification, pretty expensive. And 100 billion euros, by the way, that's 105 billion US dollars, or to put that in a number that everyone can understand, that's 5 wars between the US and Mexico. So there's a fun fact. Anyway, there's one for the third fun fact here, which is to do with the German language itself. German, you might assume that German is only spoken in Germany because German to Germany, but one fact that blew my mind when I first heard it, I know this is probably a bit ignorant, is that it's not only spoken in Germany, it's also spoken in Austria, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein, but also it's a minority language in 3 other countries, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Italy. The northern regions of Italy speak a little bit of German. It's a really weird mishmash of where the German language spreads versus where Germany is, and a lot of that's to do with the whole, oh yeah, remember when the Germans did that bad thing and we had to take land of them, and some of it's also because just, oh yeah, German spreads pretty far, and it's the most widely spoken language across 7 countries in Europe, but not far beyond Europe, because a really bizarre fact you might not know is that Germany, it wanted to have colonies, but because, like I said before, it didn't really unify properly until 1870, it never managed to get a proper foothold in America, but it did have colonies in Africa for a little bit, again, until we had to take land off them because they did a bad thing, and it was basically at the end of World War I, they lost all of their African colonies. There was 4 of them, which have now split up into something like 21 separate countries, which were at one point under German rule. However, none of them speak German today because why not, right? But yeah, so with that said, let's move to the 5th little fun fact, because even though Germany didn't take over any of the Americas, there is still a really significant number of German Americans. 17% of Americans have some amount of German heritage, which is pretty bizarre because Germans had all these colonies, and whereas most other countries had colonies that their people went to, Germans would usually skip over going to, Kenya or Rwanda or, one of those colonies, or Papua New Guinea, to instead go to America, and that is why there are so many Americans that have little German heritage, which you might not know. The next little thing is actually a really cool one, because it's to do with daylight savings, which I think is happening soon. I don't follow when that's actually probably happening, because it's so different to every country, but daylight savings was first properly implemented. It wasn't invented by the Germans, as you might read, but it was actually first implemented in the German Empire back in 1916, midway through World War I. And the reason for it, everyone thinks daylight savings is this thing that's oh yeah, let's give the farmer children an extra hour of school or sunlight or whatever it is. It's actually because they get to save energy, because obviously if you're not awake during nighttime hours, then you're going to use less coal or whatever to burn the stuff. So during World War I, there was a coal shortage, and they're let's change the times to make people use less coal. And it just about works, but nowadays the actual difference is kind of minuscule, and that's why there's a big debate about daylight savings. And first country, right here. By the way, the next little fun fact is to do with the German flag, and I looked around for one, but I couldn't find one, so here's a giant Euro sign. It's got the Europe stars in it. It's close enough, right? But yeah, I want to talk about the German flag, because even though the German flag isn't flown very much in Germany, national pride is fairly low here in comparison to other countries. The bizarre thing about it is Germany has 3 very, very well-known flags, but you're only really allowed to use one, the black, red, yellow tricolour flag. And even the reasons behind, the actual definition of each of those stripes is kind of vague, but the really cool thing about it is the other flag, the German Empire flag. Again, you probably recognize it. It's black, red, yellow. I don't have it behind me, so I'll like edit on the screen right there. So the black, red, yellow flag somewhere up there is black, red, white flag up there is to symbolize the German Empire. And the really cool thing that kind of was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, is the other really well-known flag that you're really, 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 really not allowed to use here. It's on screen right now, I think we all know what it is actually using the same 3 colors, and that's a fact you might not have known. So yeah, there is the 8th or something, you know, we've lost count, it doesn't matter. Let's move on to the next one here, which is actually to do with the way Germans count. This one blew my mind because it's such a tiny cultural difference, but basically Germans count using the thumbs, and this varies a little bit from region to region, but the one that seems to be across all of Germany is the number 3. So I have a German person behind the camera right now. How do you do the number 3, Nera?
Like that.
And yeah, I don't know, to me that's like one of those weird cultural differences, because you can understand language, you can understand why people do like certain things differently, but for some reason counting with the thumb is pretty common here. So this is 1 for some people do it that way, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and some people do 4 that way. It gets messy, but they count with the thumb here, which is something not really done elsewhere. Anyway, the final fun fact about Germany is actually, you know, I'm going to be honest, I think I've lost it here, so and this is like one of my favorite weird, bizarre things about Germany, but Germany has the most blocked videos of any country that actually allows YouTube. And the reason for this isn't, you know, the weird government reasons that you might expect for, like, you know, the Great Firewall of China. It's actually because of a music group in Germany called GEMA, G-E-M-A, if I'm not mistaken. There's a great there, but it's actually they're a group that own a lot of the rights for different forms and stuff. And the reason that they block a very, very decent number of videos on YouTube is because they want to get paid royalties every single time there is a play. It's something like you know, a cent or so is what people are usually paid, but they wanted like 12 cents, which, you know, as someone who gets paid in the YouTube industry, means YouTube would have to make a massive, massive loss just to have these videos on YouTube, and as a result they block all of these videos. Between Germany has somewhere between, depending on how you measure it, is between about 3% and 60%, again, and where you're looking and what you're talking about, of their videos blocked in the country, which is pretty nuts stuff. And yeah, that's something that if you're in Germany, then I guess you probably already know about. But if you're not, then when you come here, it sucks to use YouTube just a little bit. So yeah, there's 10 fun facts. Hope you'll enjoy the video. I'm gonna go enjoy Frankfurt for real this time. Bye.